Hello, this is Dinko Klobuchar with Eurorec tutorial series exploring white noise. In this series we will explore white noise, except it is very useful test signal and source of randomness. It is also a wonderful sound source. White noise consists of all audible frequencies, which in theory would mean that it's like having an infinite amount of oscillators. And that would also suggest that any imaginable sound can be created by precisely filtering the noise to carve out the desired sound, much like some sculptor would extract an object from a piece of stone or wood. That level of precision would require a huge amount of resources and patience. But that shouldn't stop us from exploring the noise with what we have, because such beautiful and organic sounds can be created. In this series, white noise will always be the only sound source that we will use to create all sounds. We will start very simple, but through the series I plan to get more precise and build more detailed kinds of sounds and soundscapes. Since we want to subtract from white noise to create different sounds, our main tools will be filters. So let's firstly get to know our raw material by listening to different bands of white noise. Let's also see what other filters can offer beside our fixed filter. One of my favorites is a Pittsburgh filter. You can also go crazy with it. Using bandpass with high resonance, we can extract some noisy tones. Micro-Hadron Collider has its own unique character, especially when overdriven and resonant. Gives the impression that everything could explode at any moment. I wonder why people don't use noise so much when doing filter reviews, because I think noise can easily reveal filter's unique character. Let's take a look at Extreme Filter from Doifer, for example. To disable the high pass, we need to patch unplugged cable to the input, because you can't really dial in 0 using a knob. You can immediately hear how different this is. I'm interested in these distortions in high frequencies, so let's push it even more by amplifying the input signal. This filter could also be called extremely creative filter in my opinion. This sounds like a rocket engine to me. Let's give it some space to breathe. Other kind of filters that can be used are resonators. We can use white noise to create exciter signal. Here I have some random CV signal from quantizer. I will use that to modulate the filter frequency. Connect noise to the filter input. We will also need some more duplicates later on. I will connect filter output straight to the mixer to create some basic signal we can use to excite the resonator. Bring up the frequency modulation amount. Let's start with something like this. Connect that signal to the second input of elements. That input goes directly to the resonator section. And connect elements output to the mixer. We can now play with resonator parameters. Maybe bring up the resonator frequency. And set less dampening to resonate longer. And smooth it out a bit using reverb. I'll just play around to find something I like. Elements tend to output really bright signals, so I'll filter it more using low-pass filter. It is pretty distorted at the moment, but what I'm looking for is mostly mellow tones, and at some frequencies I want it a bit distorted and resonant. Okay, let's leave it at this for now. It is a bit distorted, but let's firstly add some modulation. Maybe to geometry value. Modulating geometry helps to move it off the very resonant peaks that we can hit with our changing exciter signal. So it will create momentary distortions, but also move it around. Let's also apply some modulation to damping. And also move resonator frequency to create some tones. Some tones will be a bit distorted, but others will sound more muted. Like this, for example. Let's also apply simple stereo panning and spread it through the delay. Firstly, I want to apply offset voltage that will move it to the center. And just add LFO to that. Just spreading it around randomly. We can still play with exciter signal. Make it more aggressive. Let's create another sound. There is also another kind of filtering you can do, and it's phasing. I will use second channel of micro Hadron collider just to have some control over the input signal for the phaser. I really love deflector shield module from Synthesis Technology. Using it as stereo phaser, I found that I can always find a place in the mix for any kind of sound, just moving it around in stereo space and finding its spectral position. Fantastic module, really. Using it with noise is also loads of fun. I will use 2 stereo mixer channels and set panning to hard left and right. Let's now hear the phasing and add some more resonance. Micro-Hadron Collider can also produce such wonderful clicks and pops from noise. Let's set that up for a second. Modifying it with phaser, you can really control the character and place it in a way so it sounds so near. This can be used for so many things. It doesn't have to be sound, it can control something else. It's almost like we are exploring old vinyl record using a microscope. But let's bring it back to normal high-pass noise. And yeah, the deflector shield can also do ring modulation. And also pitch shifting. I will modulate phasing to create some subtle movement. It's really simple, just add attenuating triangle LFO. I hope you found this information useful and see you in the next part. Bye bye.